empty cup. Just crack a smile and fill it up. Fill it up.
Yeah, it's recording.
And we're back.
We're back.
Are we on?
But we're not back because we're starting a new thing.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
And that's not your thing.
Sorry.
That's Brandon's
I'm
thing.
the host because I won the contest.
He did.
That's in the contract, man.
Why are you still here, Tony? Actually,
You're
I
right. You know what? Take it away, Clark.
Here we are with after the final pour. It's me, Clark, and my co-host.
Brandon. And we are joined by the men of Tony's here too.
This fucking sucks. Yeah, so Clark's beer got selected. We're still at, or not still. We're here at Aleman with the guys from Aleman, and we brought three beers. Let him choose. Got chosen between me and Clark. Clark won. I no longer a part of the podcast after the final pour. About gracefully, Clark, why don't you talk about what is that you brought and that the guys from Aleman chose because they hate me?
That's correct. I did give them a couple dollars, not too much. I mean, it was.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's fine. Everything's fine. We are drinking Watermark Brewing Company's Aquatic Punch. Watermark is in Stevensville, Michigan, a brewery near and dear to my heart because it's near my family's log cabin up in Michigan.
It's a really good.
And when a brewery was opening up in Stevensville, Michigan, I said, fantastic.
You're tearing at Nate's heartstrings because he's from Michigan.
Big Michigan guy.
Fantastic. What parts?
I'm from the Detroit area. My
Okay.
wife is from Escanaba.
Very nice.
And we spend a lot of time in the UP
Good.
when we're able to.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like Michigan too.
Okay, Tony, again, not just, we'll let you know
You're
when
showing
we're
more, Tony.
ready. But this summer I was there, as I often do go. It's a wonderful, wonderful brewery, especially during these times. A lot of outdoor space, as Tony, we talked about on the last episode. The guy,
I'm still here.
he was here,
still here.
when we interviewed you guys.
It's not ringing a bell.
Okay, yeah, well, fine, good, as it should be. But we're drinking a golden sour ale with pineapple, strawberry, and peach, 6.3%.
This is where you ask everybody what they think about it, Clark.
What do you guys think about it? As real brewers.
So, not coming as much from the brewing side, though I've brewed all of our beers and I'm very comfortable in the brewery. From the marketing side, I read a bottle and I hear pineapple, strawberry, peach. I think about expectation and delivery. Like, do you get what this bottle says? Like, everything's there, but it's definitely pineapple dominant for me.
For sure.
Well, I've only been a professional brewer for a little while. And
But you caught that fly.
And I only reference beer flavors based on high C jukes boxes. Ecto Cooler, we already talked about.
Perfect.
Shuckleberry Punch.
It's pretty much my only point of reference. This beer tastes like high C tropical punch. I get the tropical punch vibe. I'm into it. I get really flavor sensitive when folks let the lactic go crazy. That tends to really throw me off. I generally really don't care for when the lacto kind of takes over. And I think this is really successful in having that kettle soured taste, but it's restrained enough that the adjuncts still play a really important role in the flavor. It has depth instead of just being lactic sour.
Sure, there's a kick there, but it's not. Tony, we'll let you know when it's time to talk. But yes, there's a kick there, but it's not going to. The roundhouse kick. It's a nice little swift kick to the knee, if you will. Tony, you can talk now.
I was just going to say, hi, I'm Tony. I used to be on this podcast regularly. I agree with what you're saying. Actually, the pineapple stands out a lot. I don't think I'm necessarily getting was a peach and strawberry. I think strawberry is really hard to get into a beer. We've tried that before. Unless you're like pureeing a whole bunch of strawberry, I feel like it's just kind of hard to get it into a beer. Peach.
I love pectin.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And this, there's almost a coconut flavoring in there, and maybe it's just my brain's doing that from the way the beer tastes with the pineapple, and my brain wants to go, oh, well, you're going to taste coconut. Pineapple and coconut kind of go hand in hand, but there is that like shaved coconut flavor to me aftertaste, not like up front. Like it's sour. It's not like I'm not getting instant heartburn from it, but it is very tart. I like it a lot.
Yeah, but pineapple is such a dominant flavor to begin with. You know, putting it up next to something subtle is like, what is it? Like you said, peach?
Peach and strawberry.
Like that's going to get drowned out.
I definitely get the peach.
Yeah.
Peach?
Yep. I almost feel like there's some of that driven from hop characteristics itself, but the fruit's there. More fleshy skin than the actual meat itself. Pineapple with the sour component of this beer kind of reads pacha and in a really great way. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this beer.
Jimmy Buffett would love this beer.
Is anybody? Oh, sorry, Clark, please.
Please, Tony, if you have something to say, go right ahead.
If anybody, it was a joke. If anybody had Jimmy Buffett's phone number, we'll call him up. But now that I had to ask your permission, it's just not that funny.
Clark, can you Google that?
Computer's down, sorry.
So where do you guys fall on there being a universal industry-wide metric on sour, whether it's a pH or something that allows the end consumer to know a little more about what's in that bottle prior to cracking it, whether they're getting a funky Berliner versus paint thinner?
I don't know. I guess what do you mean? What do you mean as far as like the metric?
Would that affect purchasing decisions? Do you think that is
I think so.
a needed element in this market in the same way that IBUs don't dictate what a hoppy beer tastes like, but it's a metric, it gives you something.
Sure. Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people who say, oh, I don't like sour beers, or I don't like this, is like, well, maybe you just got burned.
Yeah.
And if you approached with it, again, expectation and delivery, if you walked into it with the proper frame of mind, you probably love this beer. Or if I had 3 sours and you told me you like X, I could give you the one of those 3 that you're going to enjoy.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, I think that would make a lot more sense. And I feel like with sours, it's not new. Sour beers aren't new, but I think as like a mass appealing craft beer, it's still not very huge. Like my wife found out she likes sour beers, which is why I have the beer that you guys didn't choose still. And
There's still time.
It's true. Brandon's got to get to the grocery store. We got to let him do this. A lot of people that like sour beers, I feel like just like sour beers, regardless. At least that's been my experience of people who say, "Oh, I like a sour beer." And I have a sour beer, whether it be I'm not giving it a Flanders Red, but like, oh, here's a sour, whether it's kettle sour, lacto, or whatever. But I think for what you're saying, if we want to introduce more people to be like, oh, you've tried this sour, oh, you didn't like it, well, here's this on a different end. I think that's.
Oh, you like
that'd
lemonade?
be good. Yeah.
You like Sauvignon Blanc?
Yeah.
You like like crisp acidic things.
My first experience was a
haven't found
Flanders Red,
the
which is why I
sour.
bring that up. So like I had a Flanders Red, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I liked it, but I'm like, I don't think I'll ever order it. I enjoyed it to a certain degree. Like, oh, okay, this is what this is supposed to taste like. Fine, it's great. But then a beer like this, or like some of the other like session sours, or like what Brandon and I have done. What do we do? Freedom of expression.
Yeah.
The strawberry rhubarb from Revolution. That one was awesome, but it's tart, but it's not that like high acidity that you can feel going down. This one I can feel going down a little bit, and by a little bit I'm being very generous. I can feel it going down a lot, but I'm not getting heartburn or any indigestion or anything. But you can feel it. I think it would be good to have some type of like almost like an IBU scale for sours. Instead of just being like, well, this is made with lacto, and this is fermented this way, and this is a kettle sour. Nobody knows what that means. Not nobody, but a lot of people, consumers, aren't really familiar with it as far as new consumers.
I also think this is a broad spectrum culture. This isn't just like straight kettle sour lactic.
Sure.
So
I'm using those just as examples. You can quote me on that, though, if you want to. Next time we
it's
talk.
on tape. So
I gotta go.
Tape?
Yeah, but this is real to
Real
real.
to real?
We actually
Real
have
to
reels.
real.
You did not.
It's
You
right
didn't see
behind
the,
it.
yeah, you didn't see the
See
reels.
that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's funny you see them behind you because actually we have another reel underneath the table. That's how it connects. Those are the two reels underneath the table, behind his head. Clark, are you hosting this or not, man? I lost my job for a reason.
You
Shit.
just kept talking, so I just figured I'd sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Excellent host delegation.
See, well,
Delegate
if
to
someone has
your,
something to say,
co-person.
that's right. I let them do the work. I'm just here Googling stuff.
No, that's my job now.
Oh, well,
Anyways, thanks guys again for joining us for this After the Final Pour. Clark, you're re-fired, and I'm
you.
re-hired. And I don't know, before I fire you, thanks for bringing that beer. That was awesome. That was a really good beer from Watermark.
whatever.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Until next time, Brandon, I love you.
Love you, man.
Bye.
And I appreciate you.
Shut up. Shut your stupid mouth.